Okay, let's simplify this rational expression. So you can see here, this thing we call a rational expression in algebra, but effectively, all that means is that we're dealing with a fraction with variables. Now, specifically or technically, these guys are polynomials, but we don't need to know all that, okay? The whole point is, how do you simplify something like this? Well, let's take a look at an easier example of a fraction, okay? So maybe something like this, 10 over 30. Okay, now if I said to simplify this fraction, what would that mean to you? Well, hopefully you would be like, oh, well, reduce the fraction down to 1/3. And if you got that right, I would say, very good. I'd give you a little check mark and you'd be very happy about that. But really what you're doing when you're simplifying or reducing a fraction is you're thinking about the factors. So this is what I mean. 10 is the same thing as 1 times 10. Now it's the same thing as 2 times 5, but let's just use this pair of factors. Now 30 is the same thing as 3 times 10. Of course, I could factor 30 in different ways, but you'll see my point here in a second. So here I have 10 and here I have 30, and I'm looking at their factors, okay? But the reason why I'm factoring each one of these, the respective numerator and denominator here, is because I'm trying to identify like factors. So you can see 10 and 10 are like factors amongst the numerator and denominator. And when you have like factors like this, you can cross cancel them and it leaves you with your answer 1/3. So if you said, okay, 10 over 30, if I was to reduce that or simplify, it's the same word, that's equal to the fraction 1/3. Well, what you're really doing is you're factoring the numerator and denominator, looking for like factors, and you're cross-counting them, okay? That's really kind of the procedure. Even if you didn't realize that's what you were doing, that is in fact what you have been doing. And it's funny when you learn math at the elementary level, like division and fractions, you just kind of memorize these procedures, but you don't really understand what's going on. But in this problem, you do need to understand what's going on because you're going to have to use this process in this particular problem. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to want to factor the numerator and factor the denominator fully and look for like factors across cancel. Now, you never know whether you can factor something or not. Okay, so for example, if I have 7 over 19 and I said reduce that fraction or simplify that fraction, well, these numbers are not factorable. Okay, they're prime or just 1 times the number. That's all you can do. So same thing with these polynomials or these expressions. You never know if they can be factored or not. Okay, but you have to try to factor the respective numerator and denominator. And if you can factor them, what we're looking for is like factors so we could cross cancel them. Okay, so that's kind of a general overview of the problem. Now, if that was like enough to be like, okay, I think I know what to do, okay, I would certainly encourage you to pause the video and go ahead and work on the answer because I'm going to solve this here in a second. But first, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher, and over several years, I've constructed what I like to believe is one of the best online math help programs there is. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, and of course, I'll let you be the judge of that. But if you're interested, you could check out my math help program by following the link in the description of this video. But basically, I have 100 plus different math courses. I have all the main courses like pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2. Going to be launching pre-calculus here shortly. But I also have a lot of courses in the area of test preparation. So if you're studying for like the GED, SAT, ACT, GRE, GMAT, AccuPlacer, ALEX, CLEP exam, maybe a teacher certification exam, maybe a nursing entrance exam like the TEAS. There's a ton of exams out there that people have to take that have a lot of math on them. And a lot of times these people are taking these exams just don't know where to or how to review. Okay, they get some sort of book, but that's generally not enough in terms of math review to be successful in these exams. So I have great test prep courses for these exams. Just go to my site. Check out my full catalog. If I don't have what you need, drop me a line and I'll give you my best advice. I also work a lot with independent learners like homeschoolers. So if you homeschool, I have a great homeschool learning program. Then obviously I help those of you just struggling in your math class and you need additional help. I can certainly help you out. But one thing I can't do for you, okay, in terms of improving in mathematics, the one thing you have to do for yourself that is the following. Okay, you got to take great math notes. Over decades of teaching math, one thing is apparent to me: those students who put in the work and effort and focus to take great math notes almost always do very, very well. And the reverse is true. Those students who like talking in class, checking out their cell phone, maybe doing their homework for their next class, you get it, right? I mean, I made all those mistakes and more, but I paid a price for that. But as a teacher, you can observe all these things. You can just see the patterns, and it's so easy to get distracted. So I understand you're surrounded by distractions like a shadow, but the key to learning anything is focus. All right. If you can focus, you can learn. Now, how do you stay focused in terms of learning math? Well, you have to be engaged in an activity, and that activity is note taking. If you're taking great notes, that means you're listening to the teacher, you're writing things down, and you're not paying attention to your best buddy, trying to distract you. Okay, so focus requires a lot of effort, right? I'm not saying it's easy, but that is the secret to doing excellent in mathematics. Now, as you improve in your note taking, because most of you do need to improve, I offer detailed comprehensive math notes to include pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, and trigonometry. You can find links to those notes in the description of this video. Okay, so let's get to this problem, and I already kind of gave you an outline to what to do. And the main skill here is going to be factoring. Factoring. This is going to be kind of the challenge. Is how well do you know how to factor? I've done so many videos on factoring and the importance of factoring, and in terms of your success in algebra. And it comes down very simply to this: if you cannot factor in algebra, okay, you will not be able to pass algebra. I'm just speaking very plainly here, okay? You need to know how to factor. Factor trinomials, factor greatest common factor, all that kind of good stuff. Now, the good news is if you don't know how to factor, or if you're struggling, I have tons of videos on this in my pre-algebra playlist. Obviously, if you really, really want to learn this stuff, I would suggest jumping into like my Algebra 1 course. But I'm going to give you an outline here so you can try this problem. You want to fully factor this, okay, and then look for like factors and cross cancel. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and try that, try the problem again, just pause the video. I'm going to get to the solution now. So if you don't want to see it, keep the video paused. Okay, so let's get to it. I already did the work in advance. So I'm not going to teach you how to do all the factoring skills in this problem, okay? It would take too long. So don't substitute, what I'm doing as a lesson. I'm just explaining. So let's focus on the numerator here first. So I have 6y to the fourth plus 2y cubed minus 4y squared. So, look at these numbers here, 6, 2, and 4, okay? And then I have y's. All these guys have y's. So these little terms here of this polynomial have a GCF, greatest common factor, that you can take out. So when you're talking about factoring, all right, as a general approach, always, always, always start with the greatest common factor. Look for opportunities where you can take out a greatest common factor if it exists, okay? And it definitely exists here in the numerator. And what you can factor out is a 2y squared. Now, again, this is the GCF, okay? So it's going to be 2y squared times what's going to be remaining here is 3y squared plus y minus 2. Now, if you wanted to double check that, you could just use the distributive property and multiply back in. 2y squared times 3y squared is going to be 6y to the fourth. 2y squared plus y is going to be 2y cubed. And then 2y squared minus 2 will be a negative 4y squared. So go back and review how to factor out the GCF if you don't quite understand that. Again, factoring is the key to doing this problem, all right? Okay, so we factored out the GCF here. Well, if you take a look at the denominator, you can also factor out the GCF. And just look at the numbers here, 36, 12, 42, 12, and they all got Y's there. So yeah, they're kind of smell that there's a GCF situation going on there. So I can pull out a 6Y. Okay, again, you need to kind of like think about it and play around with it for a bit until you really have that correct greatest common factor, but you can identify that. That's 6y, and then that's going to be times 6y squared minus 7y plus 2. That's what's remaining. Again, I could use that 6y and distribute back in if you're not quite sure, and just make sure you get back to this. Okay, so if you understand, this so far, then that's, very, very good. Now, before we continue, some of you out there might be like, okay, I factored the numerator, factored the denominator, so now I'm just going to do some cross canceling for whatever I might see. Well, not so true. Okay, so when it comes to factoring, first thing is you want to factor out the GCF. The next thing you're going to want to do is to factor the actual factors. Factor the factors if you can. Okay, factor the factors if you can. So in this case, I'm like, okay, I have a 3y squared plus y minus 2. Can I factor this trinomial? Yes, you can. Okay, and this guy right here is 6y squared minus 7y plus 2. That's a trinomial. Can you factor that factor? Yes, you can. These are both factorable. So if you want to go ahead and pause the video and see if you can factor, this is a good little pop quiz just to see how you are in your factoring skills. Because if you can't factor these guys, you need to do some heavy duty work on factoring trinomials, and you're in luck because I have a lot of great videos on factoring trinomials in my algebra playlist. Again, I teach all this comprehensively in my Algebra 1 course as well. Okay, so let's get to it, and I'm going to show you here. I have 2y squared, this is my GCF, and 6y is my GCF for my denominator. Now 3y squared plus y minus 2, that can be factored as y plus 1 times 3y minus 2. Now, I'm not going to teach how I went from here to there, okay? Again, you're going to need to know how to factor, all right? We're just looking at the process of simplifying this rational expression, and you need those factoring skills. Now, the denominator, this 6y squared minus 7y plus 2, I can factor that trinomial as 2y minus 1 times 3y minus 2, okay? Now, this time, okay, I can look and see, okay, can I factor anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Now I can start looking for opportunities to cross cancel. All right, we can see some obvious things here. And what we're going to do, I'm going to start cross canceling here in a second, but let's take a look at this 2y squared and 6y, and let's just make this even more obvious. 2y squared is the same thing as 2 times y. That is 2y squared, and then 6y is the same thing as 2 times 3 times y. Okay, so I'm just fully factoring out those GCFs, and then here we have our little binomials for these trinomials that we factored. Okay, so now we're going to start looking for things that we can cross cancel. We're looking for like factors. Let's start over here. We have a 3y minus 2 in the numerator and a 3y minus 2 in the denominator. Okay, it's a 1 to 1. If I had two 3y minus 2's down here, I can only cross cancel 1 for 1. So in other words, this one here can take out just exactly 1 down there. So these factors go away. So that's awesome. Okay, now let's go over here because we have some common stuff going on. So let's see here, 2 and 2 I can get rid of, and I have 1y to just 1y there. So now we have to be very kind of careful and see what's remaining. I have a y in the numerator, a 3 in the denominator, and then I have this stuff right here. Okay, so pulling that all together, this would be y times y plus 1. That's what we have right here. And then 3 times 2y minus 1, and that's right there in the denominator. Okay, now you could distribute this y back in. That's not necessary. If you gave me this answer right here, I would definitely give you full credit. But just so you know, if some of you want y squared plus y, and you distributed that y back in, and then you went 6y minus 3, this is good as well, okay, and it's correct. But this is even, I would prefer, as your teacher, to give me your final answer like so, because I like to see things just left as its factors. No need to take this extra step. Of course, you need to know that you can, but this is perfectly fine. So if you got this problem right and you got this answer or this answer, well, then I just must give you a big happy face with a mohawk, an A plus, 100%, and let's give you about 3 stars for level of difficulty. Matter of fact, I might say, you know what, you're pretty good with this stuff. Why don't you just take the math book home And I'll see you next year. You must be watching that guy on YouTube because you were very impressive today in class. And you'll be like, yeah, yeah, I know this stuff. I know this stuff. Well, listen, this is very, very good. Okay. This is a good start if you're able to do this on your own. However, this is not the most difficult problem. There could be even more challenging problems. The bottom line, though, is this. Okay, what was the key to doing this problem? Factoring, right? Factoring is a critical, probably one of the most critical skills that you learn in algebra. So if you don't know how to factor, don't panic. Well, maybe you should panic. Do something about it is what I'm trying to say. Don't just, be in despair. Be like, okay, I don't know how to factor. I need to just stop everything what I'm doing and start learning how to factor. So again, I have tons of videos in my algebra playlist on factoring, and I teach it comprehensively in my math courses like my Algebra 1 course. Okay, so hopefully, okay, you learned something from this video and you liked it. And if that's the case, please consider smashing that like button. That helps me out. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. I've been on YouTube for a long time. Have well over 1,000 videos, I'm sure, by now on my channel. My main goal is to teach math in a clear and understandable way. Okay, no one should be failing math, right? If people are struggling in math, it's typically because they're not focused, they're not taking great notes, and if you're struggling in class because maybe there's not enough time, or maybe you don't particularly click with your teacher's teaching style, then today, okay, you got so many different options to find help. If you like my teaching style, then you can definitely learn from me. But what I'm saying is take the initiative. Just don't sit there and be like, I'm going to just fail math. No one should be failing math these days. There's all types of resources, tons of free resources there for you to take advantage of. And of course, I make my videos for you to fully take advantage of them. I want you to, learn as much as you can from me from my YouTube channel. And then obviously you can take advantage of my math help program if you like. All right. So with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.